Welcome to the 10-Minute Book Guide. Today, we're cracking open S.A. Cosby's King of Ashes. And let me tell you, this is one high-octane thriller. It's all about a guy caught between the super-polished life he built and the dangerous, fiery past he tried so hard to bury. So let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to hit the core decode. That's the basic setup, completely spoiler-free, I promise. Then we'll jump into 3 big highlights, the stuff that really makes this book pop. And finally, we'll get to the reading verdict to help you figure out if this one's for you. All right, first up, the core decode. We're going to get right into the heart of the conflict here. You know, that explosive idea that really gets this whole story's engine revving. And again, don't worry, no spoilers.
Wow. That one line. That's basically the whole book right there. It's not just a sentence, it's his mission statement, you know? It just perfectly nails our main character's internal battle. I mean, this deep, gut-level rejection of a violent family legacy he never, ever wanted.
So who is this guy, this reluctant king? Well, let's meet him. His name is Roman Carruthers. And he has built this absolute fortress of success for himself down in Atlanta. He's a wealth manager for, like, rappers and reality TV stars. Yeah, that kind of world. His life is all boardrooms, crypto, fancy suits, a life where he is in complete and total control. And it is a million miles away from where he came from. But of course, that's when the phone rings. And this one call just shatters that perfect world he's built. His father, the head of the whole family operation, has had an accident, and he's in a coma. So Roman has no choice. He's got to go home. Back to Jefferson Run, Virginia, the one place on Earth he ran from. The place he was sure he'd left behind for good.
And what's waiting for him when he gets there? Well, it's not exactly a welcome home party. First, there's the family business, a crematorium. Yeah, about as far from high finance as you can get. Then he's got to face his sister, Nevaeh, who is just full of resentment because he left and she had to deal with everything. And then there's his screw-up younger brother, Dante, the little prince, who is in some serious trouble. And all of this is brewing on top of this old, dark wound. Their mom just vanished, almost 20 years ago.
So that's the big question, right? Here's a guy who completely reinvented himself from the ground up. But what happens when a crisis back home threatens to burn all that to the ground? What happens when it tries to drag him right back into the one life he swore he would never return to? That's the incredible tension we're dealing with.
Okay, let's move on to part 2, the 3 big highlights. This is where we talk about what makes this book such a page-turner. I mean, the stuff that really makes it sizzle.
Highlight number 1 is the incredible tension between Roman's 2 different lives. You've got the Atlanta CEO on one side, boardrooms, crypto, everything polished and under control. And on the other side, the prodigal son. He's thrown back into a world of, well, blood debts, crematories, and straight-up street justice. It's this insane whiplash between who he's become and where he came from, and honestly, it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Second big highlight, the family drama is an absolute pressure cooker. Seriously, this isn't just one thing Roman has to deal with, it's a total minefield. His brother, Dante, he owes a ton of money to a really dangerous gang. His sister, Nevaeh, she's sure their dad's accident was anything but. And bubbling under all of that, you still have the massive mystery of their mother's disappearance. So you have this family that's downed by this fierce loyalty, but at the same time, they're just being ripped apart by all these secrets.
And highlight number 3, it's the setting, Jefferson Run itself. That quote really says it all, doesn't it? The town isn't just a place where the story happens, it's basically its own character. A dying town, you know, just filled with ghosts and this constant threat of violence. Cosby is so good at making you feel it. The grit, the sticky heat, the hopelessness. It just seeps into everything.
Okay, that brings us to the final part, the reading verdict. Time to get down to brass tacks and figure out if King of Ashes should be on your list.
So, we've talked about the explosive premise, the tangled family drama, and that super gritty atmospheric setting. Now for the million-dollar question. Is this book for you?
Let's break it down real simple. You are going to love this book if you're a fan of gritty crime noir. You know, the kind with complicated, morally gray characters that keep you guessing. If you want a fast-paced thriller that's also a deep dive into a messy family saga, then yeah, grab this one. You'll be hooked. Now, you might want to pass on it if you're looking for something lighthearted, because this book is intense. There's a lot of violence, profanity, and some pretty dark themes. And you're definitely not going to find any squeaky clean heroes in these pages.
So in the end, King of Ashes really leaves you chewing on that one big question.
It digs into those messy, violent, but ultimately unbreakable family bonds. And it makes you wonder, what price would you pay to protect the very people you spent your whole life trying to escape? Definitely something to think about. Your weekly shortcut to deciding what to read next.